Back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PEL Phase 3. And a lot of information given out in that one, Toby.
Yeah, I
like that. I like that. We get all the countries out there, and sure, we know Finland are now heavily represented. Of course, there's more Finns coming to the league. Just as the Brits, us Brits thought we were doing well, and
Finally
then the Russia, and then the Finns all coming in. So we kind of dominated. Not as many Danes as I thought. Actually, I thought we'd get more in there.
There's a full Danish lineup in contenders that looking promising. Maybe
That's
we'll
true,
see them in
maybe the promo tournaments, of course, will come through to see who can reach into season 2 of the PEL. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. We are only on day 1 of week 2. We're moving on to the grassy fields of Erangel. Which is obviously the home. It is the classic Erangel as well, the home that a lot of these teams will have grown up on throughout the years of PUBG.
Did he go to death stare or was he sleeping?
I'm not sure. I can never tell when people do that. Like,
are you tired or you're trying to be evil?
Or are you plotting the mass destruction? Pittsburgh Knights hasn't been that great for them. They're middle of the pack at the moment, but let's not write anything off. Because if you remember on the last day of Phase 2, they were in 9th place and they finished in 5th. So there's a lot to be played for, and we've still got we're only at match 19 for God's sake. So
there's something with tournaments that you have anything to do with, and Knights coming back in the last couple of games.
It cracked me up because you kind of reminded me, and I was like, yes, I do remember the Knights. I will not write them off. Crazy days, crazy days. Things happen like that. FaZe Clan, they're happy at the moment. You know, they're looking pretty golden. 3 wins under their belt. GamerLegion still yet to get themselves a win. They were close. They had a 2nd place on Erangel last week against Na'Vi. That was a 17-kill game, though, for Na'Vi, that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive to me, and it's scary to me how, when we look at the average skill set of all these teams that have made it here, and Europe, arguably, if not the best, then one of the best regions in the world, that a team like Na'Vi can go out and kill 7 players. I mean, that's more than 4 individual full teams they've wiped within 1 game. That is insanely scary.
It was a big point game, no doubt about it. They picked up their 3rd win earlier up on Miramar. NIP to really recreate the form we saw from them in Phase 1. And at the group stages, honestly, at the FaZe Global Summit, they did very well there. Reciprocity, they really need to get something going, don't they? Down in 15th position.
We saw them make up a bit of a change, and I liked that, because I was talking to Gustav the other day from TSM, and this goes back to the same conversation we talked about earlier, but I was asking him, is there a difference now with new teams added to PEL as opposed to how we were playing in Phase 1? And said no, the only really thing he had noticed was without Vitality there, because they were one of those teams that as soon as they got pretty much just a gun, they were sending it. They wanted to get sent in that circle, right? Now Reciprocity plays the areas that they would normally do, and they don't necessarily move the same way. But on Miramar in Game 2 today, they were actually rotating really, really early in their split. And it goes back to new teams add in 7. They're looting on the west side. I've never seen a pro tournament with a team splitting chopsticks and on the eastern side of that. And that could go to harm teams like Liquid. If they want to rotate west early, they always have to keep in mind, oh wait, 7's looting there. Yeah,
and they're squeezing in on sort of CrowCrowd territory, etc. like that. Let's talk plane paths as well, as we're about to head to Erangel. We've had some pretty nasty planes as of so far, and honestly the circles in the first week were pretty much all Western or Sosnovka based, so we'll see where this plane will take us as we head to the skies and the 64 players get ready to drop over. That's Georgia.
That's gonna be Prim over, I'm gonna say Prim over maybe, I don't know, the Puff guy-ish? I think there's 2 or 3 of those things. And
this could be a nice.
Oh my god, that was close. That was very, very, very close.
It's almost like, Toby, you've cast thousands of games by now.
I probably have.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was very close.
A lot of hours. A lot of hours. So that was the water tower on the edge of Prim, wasn't it? That's where it was. So okay. By the way, I miss the fact we don't have Prim Wars teams anymore.
Yeah.
We used to be Na'Vi, didn't it? It used to go there
I think N47 went there that one game when it was pretty much a multi-power to Sosnovka plane. But this one is interesting. This plane path actually allows for Ratio Edge to go up to Yasnaya, which they have been splitting it with N47, but they haven't really been fighting for it. I mean, it's a very easily splittable city. One goes east, one goes west. What's the big deal? But I think it's a combination of Ratio Edge saying we want to have a backup, which they kind of don't right now, and there having been just in last week alone, 6 different teams at some point on Sosnovka Island. We're talking looting phase, right? Maybe they want to say FaZe. Next time you want to go here, reconsider.
Well, they may also be gambling on the fact the circle could go down there. We've seen quite a few circles. But, well, okay.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
So, also to the point that the West Bridge is relatively safe to get out of because Na'Vi never camp it.
Yeah.
GamerLegion kind of semi-half-heartedly looked at it once, but that's about it. The Eastern Bridge is a little bit different with G2 and TSM there. But this is a pretty severe circle. It is. We assume it's going to go north, but there is a big slice of Sosnovka in there, so you never know. You never know whether it does go down to the south side.
Yeah, I think there's only 1 or 2 possible circles that can go there.
It's like 3 hard pulls, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That, and also if the center spot of the circle has to be on land somewhere, it's pretty much only on the edge of Novo that it could actually be. So we've seen the dice roll before, and it has given us crazier things. So never counting out when it's PUBG.
Yeah, the center spot of the circle is actually is it beach or water? Kind of both, really. So
yeah, exactly.
That in itself causes problems, obviously, because
way down on the
teams
edge.
love to center up, but where do you center?
Nothing.
Obviously, they're going to be looking at the compounds, Lumber. They're going to be looking at around all the compounds along the road just south of Lumber, which obviously FaZe Clan will predominantly hold, and TSM. Then you start to look further afield. You've obviously got the Harry Potters and stuff like that you'd expect the Knights or G2 to reach first. We may see a very early rotate coming out from Team Liquid, who are on your screens right now, and it may be a really low loot rotation based off the fact that there's going to be so little to be had. The question is, if you look, the problem is it's with this. This circle offers so many issues to an in-game leader, right?
It does,
because you're looking at it thinking, where the heck do we go? With the center being in such a basically the beach.
Awful spot. Yeah, I think we can say that without stepping on anyone's toes.
Basically, in the beach.
It is a pretty brutal circle, especially considering the fact that, as you said, we have Milta team, Milta Power team, technically 2 teams splitting farm on at least that area, and you never know where Knights decide to set up shop after they start their rotation. So if you're NIP, great decision on their part to stay in Primorsk, but having this rotation now, remember last time when they were trying to say, oh, just rotate back over the north, when they did that, all of a sudden, where the hell did Liquid come from? They took out 2 of their players early on, right? I don't think they want to go anywhere near that city, even though that might be the only way they can actually get to the circle, because all the way along the southern shoreline, you have got at least 4 or 5 teams, and you just cannot pinpoint all the rotations. And also, pretty much from Prim all the way over to Milta or Farm, there's going to be at least 3-4 compounds with people in them, and you'll get shot at.
So 3 minutes 30 we were looking at. That's pretty much when Team Liquid, Reciprocity, Digital Athletics were all on the move. We're already at 4 minutes 10, and they are already well inside the white circle now, so they're going to be looking for their home. Also see Michael's move to position. They're going to this is always the danger, right? When you are that team that's in the center, you've got to look to start defending. As soon as you see that clock hitting 4 minutes, you're thinking, we need to start defending our territory. Where do we want to take it? We can't just carry on looting. You can't get greedy. And guys, if you're watching at home, please, I implore you to drop in a game as your squad and get everybody moving at 3 minutes 30. It is impossible.
That's a good. Yeah, that's.
Oh dear.
Even with the settings that we have now for loot. Oh, you got to hit it from the side, SIMSY. Oh wait, it worked.
You got it.
Oh, there you go. That's a little lucky bounce there in the end. But you just got to keep in mind. Normally talk about there's water.
Yeah.
But if nobody rotates over Sosnovka now, which it seems like Na'Vi might consider, I would be surprised if they do. But it's not only water we're counting out. We're counting out pretty much half the landmass. It's 1/4 of the map that we're playing on Circle 1. This is landmass for, I don't know, Circle 3 maybe?
It's going to force a lot of fighting in the first couple of phases. Basically, it's probably going to force, actually, ironically, like phase 4 and 5 will probably be quite slow because of how close it is. SIMSY pushing right in. Iro catches him, rips him out of the car, committed to the edges here. This is the garage compound, whatever you want to call it. We've always called it the flat tops or whatever, garage compounds, multiple times. But TSM, this is what we're talking about. They've got to get there first, and they absolutely have. It's Iro on his own, I believe. Mike was off in the Harry Potter just to the north of it, but they're going to go for a 3-man push. Going to get one now, can't get the second. But it's cost the resources of Team Liquid enough, but TSM will lose a man.
This is a misplay, in my opinion, by TSM. They know how little landmass is available, and they know that there's only so many compounds up for grabs. Them sitting in a 1-1-2 split in this area of the map. Look at the other two guys. They're in the southern side of Milta. They have to expect teams to come come for these compounds. And at this point in PEL, I mean, PEL is arguably the most aggressive league in the region in the world. We see this. I mean, teams are forced to crash compounds that they would never even consider going for because there's so little landmass available. You have to think like 3 circles ahead here. This
is it. I mean, this is what we're talking about. This is so little area. While we're in phase 1, it's almost like it's in phase 3 or 4 because of the size of that center mass point, because of the lack of compounds within around that beachhead area. They're forced to go further north because they're expecting the circle to pull away from that water, pull away from the sea. It will do when we hit phase 4, but that's a long way off still.
And now, I mean, this action that we're seeing now could also turn into the biggest stalemate for a long time, because if the circles do go north, which we assume they will, we can say depending on the next circle, the next 2 actually, if it's going to contain, like if it's going to keep in the landmass on the north, nobody's going to move, because they know for a fact that there are teams everywhere around them. So unless if we see something really, really spicy with the next circle shift, I would assume that this is going to go quiet for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, because they're all centered up. Once they've got that center position, other than the odd team or 2, I mean, Navi's taking it very delicately, coming in slowly. NIP are only just leaving Promos. Tiikzu gets away with it.
It makes it interesting. He
nearly did it again.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get the barrel roll at some point,
That's
right?
it, yeah.
That's the 10-point one.
Nailed it.
Imagine if you got like 0.1 points per backflip on a bike, if there's a way to calculate that. How many teams do you think would risk it in the tournament of a 96-point tournament?
So
game tournament. For the extra 2 points over the span of a whole league?
Couple of shots. This is basically how the next probably next 5 or 6 minutes are going to stand. Is most teams will just be doing posturing positions.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting. Desperados coming in down past Lipovka. We have CrowCrowd coming in past the liquid compound at the moment, and 7 also just coming past Roslock Apartments, obviously up in that way. Raise your edges still.
They're anticipating. Keep in mind, phase 1, and I remember phase 2 maybe, they were the team that when they were looting Prim, they would always in these circles rotate over military and like, if we did it then, maybe somebody will do it now. And I think they're just waiting for some freebies, but not obviously, I mean, teams could have done it. We even said Na'Vi might consider doing that rotation, but I think everyone saw Raise Your Edge jump immediately to Millie, and they're just not going to risk it.
Yeah. NIP is just going to carry on the south road. Raise Your Edge now going to move towards the eastern bridge. CrzyZZ and G2 are actually covering. You can see NELLOZ and Braexco here on the northern side of Milta, but CrzyZZ and Braexco...
it's a scary split, but it's very worthwhile.
Sorry, Yannis, rather, on the bridge crossroads.
They have full vision over towards each other, which is why they can do it. They have the 3-story flat top building where Yannis is playing from.
Wow,
well, it's going to go north now, but there's, I mean, what was Circle 3 before is Circle 5 now.
so just south of TSM, there's a little cluster of compounds there. TSM are in one of their favorite compounds, actually, by the way. mxey, I don't think you're going to get that one
You didn't need vehicles anyway, it's fine. You only have to cross the bridge, it's fine.
Jeez.
Oh.
saw it. You saw it coming. You saw it coming.
Don't run behind the horse, man. I said, we'll kick you. Don't do that.
That's the second team Liquid player going down. Ibi picked off. Bit of back and forward. It's TSM again this time that catch them off guard. So Gemty, they're sending it actually for that building, as I was saying, that little compound south of where TSM were. mxey right up on top of the Knights.
And they know he's there too. They know he's there. Again, a situation, why you split 1-1-3 in this situation, it's scary.
GamerLegion doing the same.
It's not like it's an important rotation you have coming up right now anyway, guys. Take your time. It's fine. It's fine. There's no stress, no stress. You only got, I don't know, under half of the map available, half of the circle available.
That was going into Milta as well, GamerLegion. So again, just knocking each other. So just to keep you updated, because we were watching mxey, see whether he gets caught out here. 7 are coming down. They're coming in towards Milta Al. They're going to go right into the power station. Actually have a couple of shots. Desperados peppering them from the buildings on the edge there. CrowCrowd into Lumber Mill. Na'Vi have took a big swing. They've gone way north.
I like it.
And they've swung up north of prison. So they're going to be looking to maybe come in a similar path that 7 just took. Here's GamerLegion back in the cars and knocking over it. What?
Okay. It makes sense. Play the southern side.
It does, but Raise Your Edge are there. So NIP are 4 men in a boat. NIP are 4 men in a boat going down the channel.
They are...
They're actually going to cross over to Novo.
There's no way they're expecting there to still be people in Novo at this point. I think they're actually going to swap for boats. Yep, they're going to get 2 boats instead of 1. Right. At this point, it would make no sense in their heads that there should be people in Novo.
FaZe got crashed. 7 have crashed into them. Onto Milta Mini. Milta Power Mini. So FaZe Clan ready for that one. Krabic there. Edelweiss, that nade is not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're not going to crash you. There's no reason for 7 at all to push inside the actual factory. I mean, play this wall, stay for the next circle. Keep in mind, the next circle doesn't have to go away from water either.
Yeah, this is a risky push. Bearing in mind, obviously, FaZe here, mxey off in the distance on his own. ubah already off on his own as well. So it's all, you could argue this is greedy from FaZe Clan. Unless it pays off, of course. You never know.
I mean, they did manage to get one of their players safer. Right now, they have a solid split between quite a few of them without any real chance to help out one another. But as I said before, this one can still include water. And we've seen it both in the Chinese League and in Contenders. This is scary, really scary.
Oh, mxey made it to the rock. He got away. Now, where's 7 going? Where are they going? They've got to go for this ditch, right? But that's open to N47,
exactly.
Isn't it?
I mean, there's nowhere else they can play from. As we said, we're in Circle 2, but we're in Circle 6. I mean, it's, yeah.
So Merc catches him up. NIP are in the boats and they're taking fire. They're taking fire from Razor Edge. Now that may draw GamerLegion's attention. I don't know. ubah caught out as well. That's 2 solos that FaZe Clan have lost. Greedy, as I say, at this stage. We talked about it with TSM. I get it. They want to try and cover as much ground as they can. But when the circle is this tight, it's going to cost you. You know, FaZe, they're in Mill to Power Mini. That's a big old area to cover off as it is. Could easily have had just the 4 players in there.
And the main issue is they had to make the decision. Yep, this is exactly the same circle. And now the main issue becomes there's going to be water. Normally you shift away from water in Circle 4, but I don't think you can place the next circle anywhere without water. And after Phase 4, we can go right back out there again.
Now, if GamerLegion can just go a little bit north and get in that compound, they're laughing. Because
they could just chill where they are, to be honest.
Well, they can. They get because they know their backs are relatively free. Did they hear NI people up? They had to.
You saw them all looking that way. They have to know that there are people down there.
Oh my God, here we go. Reciprocity sending it. CrowCrowd sending it. Where are they going to go? Do not know. Maybe into Team Liquid. Don't know. CrowCrowd are going to go straight towards where Empty is. They get themselves a little nook and cranny there. NOOKIE, speaking of going down. Timmy, actually, I think he dropped off the back there. And that nades. Oh, that's gone in. That went in. It's going to catch MiseDOG. Surely. No.
It's
managed just to get away with it. Went into the back room instead. Gustav, meanwhile, will catch 6 more off as DA try and get their rotate. They've gone straight in towards it. Reciprocity have pulled up just to the side of where GamerLegion were, which is why you're seeing that lighting up in the kill feed as well, as G2 getting involved and dealing with CrowCrowd.
Everyone is scrambling to get just some area to call there on Reciprocity. They've made the run all the way down south. Razor Edge finally committing to the cross from Nova, and they're taking 4 guys in a boat too. This is going to be ugly, but fortunately for them, NIP is focused elsewhere.
Desperado's coming, sending it down past Mill to Power. They're going to go for the coastline edge. They're going to join the likes of 7, who are actually on the hillside, so keep your eye on that one. That may light up as well. It's happening everywhere as we expected, but with such a big shift south, it's caused a lot of problems. FaZe Clan, they've actually got ubah back up on his feet. How the hell did they manage to commit and get that? I do not know. So great work from FaZe to have 3 alive, but they're still in a tricky split position as Aitzy did his work there. But what is going on? Oh no, Razor Edge. Razor Edge in the boat have been spotted. Because Desperados have just gone to the coastline, they completely see Razor Edge. The late play is not paying off.
This could be the death point for Razor Edge. We see them on our little screen in the corner at the same time. G2 is trying to push in towards mxey, but there's so many teams third party. That's the explosion. mxey gets the kills. The Molly is in there. Tiikzu goes down. mxey has to dish out on that one. He's gonna go. He's on fire as we speak, but might be able to live through it. Yep, seems like it.
Oh, Razor Edge just got obliterated on the side there, as have CrowCrowd. They go down, they sent it. Looks like Desperados have done what they can. ENCE picked up a whole stack of those kills, so Razor Edge will be gone. They left it just a little too late, if anything. They obviously watched NIP move in. So, where does this leave us? Well, the Knights, they have FaZe Clan now pushing on them. Both, all 3 members, because ubah's on the move. That doesn't matter. It looks like Aitzy may well have done it for him in the kill feed there as Desperado's got it. They've gone, and it's going to be FaZe Clan that do the business. But now we see TSM, they've got a hold off Na'Vi.
See, they're trying to contain this compound, but there's 4 guys strong in Na'Vi making the push down towards him. This is not going to be easy for the 2 players TSM to hold. And the thing is, this compound might not even be inside the next circle. As it turns out, it just exactly is on the edge of the next circle. Now, of course, keep in mind, we can go anywhere once again. Empty gets found inside the Wizard. He's going to go down. This might be exactly where Gustav is crashing.
I thought Rustanmar was about to get spotted, but SIMSY ducked back down. It does force Buster, who's in the blue at the moment, to get moving. ENCE are going to move as well. Gustav trying to keep anyone at bay, see what he can just to keep himself alive, gets himself in the back room, safe for nades for now, unless someone will rattle through. FaZe Clan on the move. They're going for the brow of the hill. And Na'Vi will find Michael, so that's the second from last man for them.
I like the split by FaZe. They need to contain this, because if they stay up in that compound in the north, this position is going to be their Achilles heel, so they need to contain it real well done.
Because of that rotate FaZe just did, it puts ENCE in trouble. Suddenly they're in an exposed position. Bust, I mean, like, it's one of those moments, do you expect this guy from behind in the blue at Phase 4 still just trying to pepper away at you? Well, he's going to be hit hard by the blue now because it bumps in. But you can see he finds Rustanmar. And there's no reviving him there. That's just cost him a player.
And you can't even be upset with him, because there's no way in hell he's getting inside the circle if he doesn't deal with Rustanmar first. So he had to stay out there in the blue for that long, try to get that knock in, force the team to look elsewhere, now he's running forward.
miikaz making a play. He's actually snuck around the coastline. We'll see whether he finds Monkey. You can see him in the far distance at the moment as Calvin Klein tries to climb the rocks. Sadovnik will get the bleed out and finish on Rustanmar. As FaZe still keeping a 2-1 split. VAR does catch Monkey off guard. miikaz does the job. And NIP now find themselves an opening. And Buster continues to cause problems. Now he gets miikaz down. Finally, they deal the damage with him. But Seven's solo player out there. They still have Edelweiss and Sadovnik just further to the south of him over the other side. And now you see the shots coming in from those players.
And what should have been time to rotate, for instance, looking inward in the circle, has been them forced to look outside the circle for so long. And now they're caught here with practically nowhere to go.
I tell you what, NIP, now that the miikaz just played that ninja play, you can see it in the distance. He's man-to-man that ninja play. They've now got this whole mountain set. They've got the entire south side of the circle now. They've managed to sweep it out. They've dealt with reciprocity to an extent. As I say that, you can see Shiv and Udyr trying to push forward. They're pushing onto G2 because of the pressure from NIP from behind. It gives NIP a really good position unless the circle shifts hard against them again.
I was just going to say there's 3 ways this circle can go. 2 of them has a compound included in the middle. The other ones is going to be everyone in the open, every man for himself. This is going to be very, very telling of who could potentially end up winning the game.
SIMSY and Calvin continue to try and flush around the coastline. Calvin, is he gonna try again? He's going to go up again. I don't know if he really wants to at the moment.
I think everyone's just waiting for that circle.
Yeah, waiting for it to shift. This is the stalemate we're talking about. Yeah. Phase 4 and 5, where it will slow down a little bit. And it does mean that...
we haven't really changed the landmass for the last 2 circles.
Yeah. It's just got smaller and smaller in the same little respected territory. GamerLegion still with a good hold. N47 with a good position. Fuzzface actually trying to make a play for it here. And get... Yeah, no.
He wanted to get back up towards ubah, but it came to cost him. That is... I don't know if you would call it greedy, but they had the spot on the backside, but I think they knew that they would have to deal with ENCE. That could be a reason why now ubah down in the compound too, and that allows for Na'Vi to take full control north, but that's not going to matter, because they will have to go south.
And that's why he was coming, because he knew Na'Vi were pushing him, so he knew he had to either rescue ubah or not, but that's just cost them. And that is a big shift, and NIP are laughing with this circle move.
I was thinking ubah might not even have had a vehicle up there. That could be the reason, because they landed there to begin with, right? So ubah might not have had a vehicle, because they used that to drive down towards where Aitzy is now. Maybe he wanted to be the hero, but in the end, they both go down because of it.
Vasco just stole both those kills away from Seven. And they're going to be infuriated with that one as T-Bone steals that as well. All 3 kills from ENCE stolen away by N47. Seven are not going to be happy with that. But
is that 6 knocks and 1 kill? I think something like that.
Oh, Desperado's been found. We were talking about NIP. SIMSY up on the ledge, but NIP at the moment, they have this southern edge. The only thing they need to worry about is obviously SIMSY here and the 2 reciprocity players, and then they have, I would say, at least 30 to 40% of the circle to themselves on this south side. All they need to worry about is what's in front of them, and that's going to deal with itself, because Na'Vi have to move. They're going to be crashing somewhere. TSM and G2 sort of right on the edge. Now, N47 are going to be turning their attention to Na'Vi on the move here and expect this to light up. Vasco will collect himself one. This is another great game coming out of N47.
Great game for them, and I'm going to keep my eye on them to see what they're planning to do. This is just a suicide run. Simply a suicide run for Na'Vi. Nothing they can do. They're all going to go down. 10th place for them. They did manage to get kills with them, so not the worst game, everything considered.
By the way, I want to talk about M47 is the pure honesty that they have. It was, I think it was Vasco that just said, is it that last game, that DA game, I overextended. If I didn't do that, we'd have won the game. It was totally my fault. And it was just like, wow.
Recognize your mistakes.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the way forward.
And that is such a good mentality to have.
Agreed.
Because obviously, once you get to this late, sometimes egos can be a problem. And obviously, we can see sometimes people just don't want to admit their faults, but that's the best way to improve. We just saw Navi obviously going down in the blaze of glory. That was kind of inevitable if you weren't in that northern shift.
What are you smoking, Chef? Smoke on the water. Wait, no.
I think he's admitting defeat, yeah.
There's many different ways of doing that. Some dances, some just throw smokes everywhere. And the new circle, as again, it's going to tell a lot. I want to see what N47 does if this one shifts away, because they do not have a whole lot to claim on the other side, other than potentially either crashing into where GamerLegion is, or take the fight towards G2 and Reciprocity.
Here's Aitzy's. Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Once it pulls in, once it connects, he's not going to be able to tank it.
Yeah, yeah, he's got nowhere to go on this one.
They're fighting for that 8th. Oh, it just doesn't even matter, because 8th and 7th gets the same amount of points. So 1 point for each of them.
Drop. Ooh, okay, so G2 are happier with this.
We spotted him.
For them. Aitzy gets spotted. Vasco 7 kills and counting. That is what?
That's 21 kills in 2 games.
19 kills. Yeah, 21 kills.
No, they had 14 kills last game.
They had 14 in the last game. Oh my God. So 21 kills in 2 games. That's 21 points just from kills alone. Not to mention a 6th place and now a top 5 again. N47 are going to be rocketing up that table. GamerLegion, they're happy. Bjorn has himself the little Harry Potter that is inside the circle. N47 are in trouble now, though. Now they have to make a play. Now they have to make a move. Vascu's going to try. He's going to be the man that sends it. We've seen cars going up in a blaze of glory. Emo will be following as he pushes in towards G2. He's got nowhere to go. He gets over here, gets into the ditch. He's safe a little bit, but now comes the molly from CrowCrowd. Does that land on top of him? He's got to smoke off GamerLegion and deal with G2 down up on high as they all send it and they all go down.
That's the explosion. Page the last to follow. He was the man left behind, trying to maybe get a knock on someone who was applying pressure on the other side, but Vasco and Page will be all that's left. And again, I mean, they're in 5th place now, guaranteed. Whatever happens here, it's been a good game for them. We'll see if they can make more of it, but it does not look easy for them whatsoever.
So, well, Vasco made it. They got one there. If he can weather the grenades, he might be able to hold on. There goes Page. So there's a nade. That's a nade roll straight past him. Or big slice of health coming off him. Bjorn now getting confident, but don't get overstretched here, GL, because they don't forget that NIP have 4 players alive here. Reciprocity with the 2. This is going to be the battle that will cover out the coastline. Miraku sees Shiv as he pokes up, gets a little knock around the side.
Also, right now, they're in. You don't have to over-aggress. You're 2 players alive. It's a 0-point game. There's no reason in trying to go out harvesting kills now.
You're late. Have to move.
You're late and you're in the circle. Start trying to accumulate more placement points.
They have to push in on them. So Shiv trying to cover off Udyr. Udyr up close and personal. There goes Page, bleeds out. Bjorn actually hunting down Vasco. I like the aggression.
The main issue for them is it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because if they don't aggress, as you can see, NIP has nowhere else to go but up towards them. So I actually take my words back. Udyr has to hold them off. There's nowhere, like, if they want to stay alive, they need to deal with NIP.
Oh,
he saw him fall down. He saw him, right?
fell, yeah. So now he only needs to worry about MBS, and that's that nade. Just bounces over his head from Miraku.
They both jump down. I mean, they are in, right?
Don't forget about Shiv up close. Shiv at the back.
He's going to be important, because if they time this right and push Udyr at the same time, Shiv has to play a big role. Great knock from Udyr. But the knock comes in return immediately. Great return play as well from Gaxi peeking over the top of the right side.
G2 coming in behind them. NELLOZ and Braexco moving on the back side, looking towards Shiv. And the circle's actually pulled towards this hillside where Miraku is right now. He's almost the central position, so there's nothing to play for. But it is going to open up for GamerLegion to be able to sneak in around the side. Vasco will go down 5th place for N47. And now GamerLegion with 4-man spread moving in the side. I really like Bjorn's play as well. Look at the minimap. You can see him and CrowCrowd. Bjorn's sweeping out. He realizes the danger in the north. If he can get it behind them, it will cause G2 to collapse in all manner of ways.
Contain. Make sure no one's coming from behind. Hold that angle and allow for your 3 teammates. And getting inside, he did. It cost him his life, but at least it reveals which direction G2 went to.
Yeah, it's Braexco that caught him out there. 8 kills and counting for G2. I'll tell you what, though, if he just took a peek over the brow of the hill, CrowCrowd might
if they tunnel vision on this flush, that could be like GamerLegion pushing over the top and potentially doing damage. But the smoke throwing in this direction should kind of alert Braexco that the pressure is coming from that angle.
Well, is Miraku and Co looking this way? They're so tunneled in. Hamster takes CrowCrowd down. GamerLegion still with 3 alive. Are they going to try and risk getting Bjorn up? I'd be surprised. No, doesn't matter. Braexco deals with him. Nade lands crisp on the top of Braexco and it forces him away to go back towards NELLOZ. Miraku flanking round behind GamerLegion. They've got to be careful. Is miikaz looking? I'm not too sure. He's going to go right around the side and have a perfect angle on him. He's just staring at the backs.
G2 has not had an easy game, but somehow come into this last circle 3 alive, 9 kills I believe it was already. So it's going to be a good game for them no matter how it turns out from this point moving forward. CrowCrowd is going to go down. Braexco and NELLOZ staying put, but they have to stay. I mean, they have to stay and wait the next circle.
Oh, Miraku spotted. Just tries to go for the central position, tries to get the flank around, but FaZe takes him down. And GamerLegion, is this their game? 4 teams alive.
What are you needing, FaZe?
Well, he thinks, because there was one going off the left, he assumes there's somebody that's got that ridge line.
Exactly.
They've got to be careful. So it leaves NIP with 2, G2 with 2, Reciprocity still with Shiv hiding in the ditch, and GamerLegion with 3. They're in the driving seat. They have the whole eastern edge of this circle. And now they just need to stay together and make sure they don't get picked off.
Shiv ain't going anywhere, and the circle goes back up north. We saw where the circle center is just around the ridgeline, and at some point, GamerLegion will have to cross on over. As you said, coming into this, they don't have a win so far. This could be their first.
Yeah, this would be them. It would be big because GamerLegion came close. Remember, they had the, as I say, on Erangel last week. They had the second place against Na'Vi. It didn't quite work out for him. Bjorn's going to be kicking himself, and he got caught out, and he was trying to make that play on G2. But these teams, really, honestly, these 3 that are over here, they have to fight each other because they've all got to come out of this little coastal ridgeline.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what GamerLegion is waiting for. They know their side of the circle. They know there's such a big open space on the east. They can count the amount of players still alive. And off of the action they see in the kill feed now, they'll very easily be able to track down how many players they're dealing with as well.
Yeah, see, what's he doing? He's trying to draw fire so MBS can get across. That's what he's doing. He's saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. He's going to give MBS a chance, and MBS has crept himself into the circle.
Hamster is committing on the northern side. I love this. He's not going to allow them to push back that way. We saw Braexco kind of wanted to go back there for a while, but Hamster is not going to allow that, at least not without a fight.
FaZe and miikaz into the central point as well. FaZe is almost the pivot on that center. Shiv still not moving, waiting for the blue to really force him to go. NIP are inside, G2 are inside. Shiv looks like he's the man that's going to get caught out here. I think he's got that little ditch he can maybe get into. G2 shooting in the back. No, it doesn't quite give him it. He can crawl up to the ridgeline, and that should get him just inside.
Everyone except Shiv has made it inside the circle, and as you said, I mean, I think that 1 meter difference is going to be whether his head is popping up or not. Ooh, good
Sees
shots.
Braexco, good shots, yeah. Takes him down to 48. Braexco goes for the fight and takes Shiv's head off. So puts him down. Speaking of being put down, FaZe finds NIP, and
money.
that nade might get both of them. Oh, confines MBS, absolutely pins on him. Gaxi just a little further behind.
Such an important knock as well, the finish off that is, because now Gaxi solo player alive, it's going to be limited how aggressive he's going to play this one. Probably just wants to get the guaranteed top 2, but this opens up the place for FaZe so much. If they get down the last player in NIP, this could be the push for them to make.
Gaxi returns fire, takes NELLOZ down to very low health, but doesn't get the confirm. GamerLegion continue to spread around. They're holding that central point. A battle for second place, if anything. Gaxi moves, and he's going to run straight into Braexco. Gets himself 11 kills and counting for G2. Now it's a 2v3 for G2 versus GamerLegion. GamerLegion can't afford to lose this one. FaZe is in a great spot.
GamerLegion in the Contenders Phase 2 had a second place curse. 5 games that could have been won ended up being second places. They do not want to see this one become one of those as well.
Does FaZe get spotted? If he does, Braexco will absolutely move on it. Who took the shots? Was it FaZe?
I think the shots were from above. It was Hamster shooting over the top.
NELLOZ has come to join him, so they're going to use that smoke. They're going to play on the smoke. Going to get a look towards it. You can see Braexco finds FaZe down low, but he can't finish the kill off. Gets knocked down. It leaves NELLOZ all alone. And that will be GamerLegion picking their first win up in the PEL. They finally deliver. 7-kill game, 17 points. They still don't look that happy about it, in all honesty. But they've done it. They've done it at last. They were so close last week.
And I like that you pointed out the way that Bjorn played the one that they could have won on Erangel last week, how he maybe overstepped, but that is what he does. We saw it on the Miramar game. He did overstep, but it really, really paid off when they tried to get the flashes on towards their opponents on the hillside. Here as well, they left him behind. He's going to be that off-angle player. Unfortunate for him, not able to get the knock, but it provided them with all the info they needed on where the G2 players were located.
Yeah, he said himself he expected Navi to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
They were, just not in a straight line. They flanked. that's what completely
The flanker got
off.
outflanked.
Yeah, but GamerLegion picking themselves up their first win here. It's honestly, I feel it's been coming as well. It's not like it's a fluke or anything like that, so absolutely deserved. Digital Athletics wasn't the best game for them, that's for sure.
I gotta ask you, dude. When you saw 4 guys in one boat from NIP, did you think they're gonna get to 3rd place?
Well, that's true, right? When you see how Raise Your Edge went down, but let's go down to Parla. He stood with Bjorn.
Hey guys, I'm here with the Legion, GamerLegion. Congratulations on that victory.
Thank you very much.
Yes,